Hi guys, this is Jawad Quader. I am an NCA candidate, and today I want to talk to you about the online examinations that I took in August. And I want to give you a little bit of perspective about what the exam will look like this October, because the October exams are also going to be online exams. I also want to share my experience with the last exams, and I will walk you through what the process looks like, and I'll end up by giving you some of my top tips. So here we go. Um, at first, the first thing that we need to know is that the exam is going to be 4 hours long. It is not 3 hours. For those of you who have taken paper exams before but are taking in the online exams for the first time, please know that this is not an extra additional 1 hour being given to us for a 3 hour exam. No, this is a 4 hour exam. The questions are that broad, and it will completely consume the entire 4 hours that is allotted to you. So time is of the essence. Make the best use of it, and a big part of your exam strategy should be focused on making efficient use of time to ensure that you finish right on time and you don't have anything left. Um, with the online, with the it's the exam is going to be an invigilated system. It is not going to be it's going to be proctored through your webcam on your phone as well as on your laptop or on your PC. And the laptop is obviously going to be facing you, but the phone is going to be at a sideways angle so that the invigilator can see your screen as well as take a sideways look at your setting when you are sitting for the exams. Um, I can start by giving you some tips about installing your phone. When you go into the exam, you need to ensure that you have something where you are going to place your phone sideways. So that can be anything. That can be a platform on which you rest your phone. That can also be a wall-mounted hanger or some sort of a mount for your phone. So that's very important because you don't want to be spending time just before your exam looking for uh, addressing these logistical issues. It's very important that you keep your phone connected at all times during the exam, because the invigilator is going to always be with you and will always need to watch you. And if the phone gets disconnected, then that might be a cause for concern. So you need to keep your phone charger connected, and you need to ensure that your phone is located in a place which has a charging outlet nearby. Um, Keep the phone within an audible distance, because you may have to talk to the invigilator in the middle of your exam, and you don't want the invigilator to be located so far away that you cannot communicate with the examiner. There is also the issue that if the phone is not loud enough, then you will not be able to hear your examiner, and you would have to waste precious time in trying to have that conversation with your examiner. So that's something to bear in mind. Keep your volumes up so that you can hear your examiner in a loud and clear manner. And another point that I would stress upon, and I'll talk a little bit more a little later about, is that this is you are basically sitting your exams from anywhere you want. So it can be from your home, it can be from a friend's home, it can be from some other location of your choice. So you have the home advantage. It's not an exam setting where you go into a pre-designated center and you're allotted a small desk. You are allotted certain parameters that are predetermined. Over here, you can actually determine what kind of a setting you give your exam in. So it can make sure that you use it to the fullest. Make sure that you're comfortable. Make sure that your desk is as big as you need it to be. Make sure that the equipment that you have is good. Make sure you take in a little bit of food, some drinks, or anything else that makes you comfortable. Use your home advantage. Um, uh, there are other ways of using it too. I will talk a little bit more about it a little later. Moving on, take in some white sheets of paper with you. You will need to make notes at times, because if you, as you may know, the portal does not guarantee that you will have access to your questions all the time. When you are writing your answers in a text box, the question will be above you. So it will go out of your screen and you will need to scroll up to view it. So it's important when you are first reading the questions, it's very important that you take small notes so that you remember pertinent features and factors about the question or the fact pattern that you're presented with, so that you don't need to scroll up often. This will save you a lot of time and it will save you a lot of energy and a lot of anxiety. Um, how I think it's useful at this juncture for me to break down what you will go through when you start the exam, as in like what processes you will go through. So how it begins is that you are, I believe, instructed to walk into the exam 10 minutes earlier than your allotted time. However, because of the experiences of the examinees last August, you may have heard that there were significant delays before exams started. I would advise you to go in 15 to 20 minutes earlier. Well, not 20 minutes perhaps, but 15 minutes earlier definitely, just to make sure that you are a little comfortable with the setting and you are not rushed into your exam. So space it out. Make sure that um, you are comfortable. I think comfort is a very big factor in the exam. When you log in, you will firstly need to go to a certain website. You will be emailed the link to the website a day prior to your exam date. And once you click the link, you will see a lot of providers, the names of a lot of providers being given in that website. And you will need to click Federation of Law Societies of Canada. A lot of people I know have tried to look for NCA, National, the NCA name, but they could not find it. They found FLSC, which is Federation of Law Societies of Canada. So once you click on it, you will be taken to a login page where you will need to provide your candidate number as well as some other information. And once you put that in, you will be taken to a chat box. That chat box will have you and your invigilator on it. It may sometimes be a bot instead of your invigilator if your invigilator is busy with something else and needs a moment to come. But your invigilator will invariably come and will guide you through the process. If you have any questions for the invigilator, then please do feel free to type it into your chat box. Once all of these are done, your invigilator will give you a link to connect your webcams, both on your phone as well as on your laptop. I don't exactly recall if they give two links, but I think it is a single link that they give. You will need to type that into your phone, in the browser of your phone, and it will take you to a certain website where you will have to give permissions to the invigilator to access your webcam and to basically see you through the webcam. And you will need to follow a similar process with your laptop or your phone or your PC webcam, and and you need to follow this process to activate the webcams on both your devices. Once you have done that, you will be given another link to go to another page. This time, that page will be your main exam page. That website will be your main exam portal, essentially. It's important to know that you will not start your exam until you actually press start exam. So if you need a moment at that time, do not be worried. Your time is not starting exactly on the dot at the time that is allotted to you. Your exam will start when you click when you want your exam to begin. So that may be useful to some. Um, when you start your exam, before you start your exam, in fact, you may be given in certain modules, you are given a set of instructions that precede your exam. It is very useful to read those instructions. I cannot understate this. It is extremely useful. It is extremely important that you read those instructions. Those instructions are specific to your exam. They are not just terms and conditions. They are they actually give you guidance about what you are expected to do and what you should expect from the exam. So I heard for a certain exam last time, that exam was not marked out of 100. The marks for the entire exam was lower. It was about 83 or 84 marks. I don't exactly recall, but that was stated in that instruction. For one of the exams that I took, which was, I believe it was an admin law exam, the instructions gave us specific guidance about how to write our answers. It told the examinees not to spend time in sort of writing the answers out in a memo form, to basically just cut out the formalities and to just plunge into answering the questions. So it is very important that you read through the instructions before you begin your exam. And yes, that will be within your control. So you can take as long as you want to read the instructions. But that does not mean that you should take a long time to read the instructions. Just take a reasonable amount of time. But knowing, with the comfort of knowing that your exam is not going to begin, you're not gonna have to hurry through the instructions. So once you enter your exams, you will see that the exam is divided into different tabs. Each tab represents each question, the main question that is asked in your exam. So if your exam has just one question with one fact pattern, then it will just have one tab. If it has multiple tabs, if it has three tabs, that basically means that it has three questions. Each tab is going to each tab, once you click on it, you will find the question, and underneath the question you will see a text box where you are going to write out your answers. Now, in certain cases, especially where the questions are long, your question, as you are reading the question, the screen essentially goes out of view, and you would have to scroll down to read the entire question. So once you are typing your answer into the text box, your question is not always in view, and this is one of the key differences between the paper-based exam experience and the online exam experience. In that situation, you should be prepared to sort of scroll up, and and yeah, you may have to scroll up quite a number of times in order to get a proper grasp over the facts and to relate it to your answer. I have a few tips for that, which I'm going to share towards the end of this video. But just know that taking notes in that white page that you are carrying with you, that helps. because it helps you remember certain things. You may not have to scroll up as much if you have written down notes as like really short notes as you are going through the exam. In the text box, you will see that it has certain editing features. So you will have you will be able to bold, underline, and italicize your text. You will not be able to cut, copy, or paste. However, you can drag and drop something that you've already written. So this basically means that you will be able to rearrange your text. That helps in certain extents because as you're writing your answer, you may reach a point where you think that you may need to rearrange your text so that the flow is better, and you will be able to do that. Your text box will also have an indenting option, so you will be able to make certain indentations. It has a bulleting option, and my experience of the text box, I don't know whether they'll improve it or whether they have improved it since August, but my experience has been that the text box is not as smooth and does not offer as smooth of a writing experience as any modern word processing software. So my text box was a little jittery. Placing the cursor accurately was a little difficult for me at times, and that took up like tiny pockets of seconds for me. So yes, it's probably useful to bear this in mind and to basically accommodate for that. As you are writing your answer, my advice to you would be to start with the answering the question that you are the most comfortable with. The reason for that is because the examiner, if you give your strongest self at first, then the examiner is going to have a good first impression about you. And first impressions matter to examiners because all examiners know that this is a pressure cooker exam. Time is of the essence, and towards the end, the examiner is going to face difficulties in finishing the exam. So it's useful to remember, it's useful at that point to know that the examiner may cut you some slack for a weaker answer given at the end if you are able to give a very strong answer at the beginning. So that is one of the tips that I would give. And with that, I have a few other tips that are listed down. I would also say, this ties into my statement about it being about it being an exam that you have a degree of control over, in that you can actually have control over the setting in which that exam occurs. So take the home advantage and maximize it to like to the fullest extent. So I would say that taking some drinks with you, you can take a big table, you can make yourself as comfortable as you want, you can take whatever chair you want. um, I actually used the walls around me. So I made sure that I knew that there are certain pages in my notes that I'm going to refer to more often than the other pages. So, for example, like the index page, or there are certain provisions in the Constitution, or there may be certain other things that I need to sort of take a quick glance and just take a quick bite of information from. Those kinds of things I sort of made. I sort of had those papers separated, and I hung them against the walls, behind the walls that are behind the laptop where I'm sitting for my exams. So I could just look up above my laptop and there the information was. So that saved me valuable seconds, and that was also convenient for me. Make sure that your font size is big and make sure that you set up your wall a day ahead of your exam, so that you don't have to panic on the day of your exam. I will also strongly advise you to take in a very good mouse. What I mean by a good mouse is a mouse that works fine, and like most mouses work fine. They're not very sophisticated machineries, but the scrolling option has to be there, and it has to be a very good scroller. So you may need to scroll up very fast, and you may need to scroll very often in the exam. So make sure that you have a mouse that has a good scroller. Take in a very comfortable keyboard with you. Do not take in keyboards that are hard to type on. Um, Take keyboards that are very soft on the touch, because this will save you a lot of time. This will enable you to type in 20% more than what you would have been able to had you taken a keyboard that is not very, very friendly to the touch. Isolate yourself. Make sure that you are in a place where you are isolated from noise, from distractions, from other people coming in. I don't think the invigilators will take it very kindly if other people come to your room where you are taking your exam. So make sure that your doors are locked and you are essentially by yourself in the exam setting. Um, if you have any issues, you can talk to the examiner. If you need a toilet break, you can just tell your examiner, and you will be able to take toilet breaks during the exam. The invigilators, sorry, not the examiners. The invigilators are very helpful. They are very friendly. And if you have any trouble at all, you can always talk to them, and they will be able to guide you. And for example, in my situation, I actually had an emergency situation which I needed to attend. So I asked the invigilator to pause my exam, and she did that. That was very helpful for me, because otherwise, I needed to go outside my room, and if I had not done that, then my time would have continued to run. So that's all that I have for today. I hope you found this useful. If you want to reach out to me, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. My name is Syed Jawad Quader. That is SYED space JAWAD space QUADER. You can find me on LinkedIn. Add me or send me a message. Make sure that you send me a message before adding me, or you send me a message. You add me with a message, so that I know the context of the reason why you want to add me. With that being said, I want to wish you all the best. I myself am sitting for one exam in October, and I hope you're all able to ace it, and I hope that I'm able to ace it as well. Take care.